Y'all, let me just say that recording this video has been a journey. I'm talking curtain rods falling out of the wall, becoming bliss, spilling all over my chair, my rug, my bed in the other room fell off of the bed risers twice. And don't even get me started on how many times I sweat out a blowout trying to record this video. I'm telling you that the devil has been busy, but my God has been keeping me covered, okay? And I am so grateful. So just know that this video was fought for, but it's here, and I really hope that you enjoy it. It's right on time. Hey beautiful, and welcome back to Becoming Simone. I am so happy that you are here, and I cannot even believe that I'm saying this, but I'm about to step into 31 and I am so excited. My heart is so full, and this video is really special because it's not just about me reflecting on what my life has looked like over the past year, but on who I've become through it all. I feel very peaceful, expectant of what God is going to do in my life, and honestly, just grateful for how far God has brought me. Honestly, 30 really stretched me. There were moments of deep surrender, moments of pure joy. It was humbling, it was healing, it was holy. But somewhere in the middle of it all, I really found what I like to call becoming bliss. And it's not just this little mocktail that I love to drink, but it's really that sweet spot. That sweet spot when you're no longer who you used to be, but not quite who you're becoming, and yet you still feel peace anyway. Birthdays are such a big deal to me, and I love to celebrate. I love to celebrate all of the milestones. I love to celebrate all of my wins, but also how far I've come and really be thankful to God because He's brought me so far. I really wanted to take some time to reflect and really honor this milestone. So today I want to share 30 lessons that I've learned in 30 and what I'm looking forward to and what I'm praying for as I step into this next chapter. So grab your becoming bliss, grab your journal, and you know what? Let's jump into it because today we're going to have a little heart to heart. I told y'all before that I'm a planner. I had plans, I had timelines, I had those by this age goals. And you know, we all have those. We're like, by the time I turn 30, by the time I turn 25, all of the things. But they did not go as planned. They didn't go as I imagined. And honestly, I thank God that they didn't. Because I've learned that the doors that God closes are just as meaningful as the doors that God opens. And the moments that I felt like were delays, they were actually divine setup. His plan continues to unfold better than anything that I could have ever written for myself. And for that, I will forever be grateful. I really used to think that rest had to be earned. It was only allowed if I was able to cross everything off of my to-do list. But now I know that rest is holy. Rest is required. It's really a declaration of our trust. So I'm really learning to pause and know that God is still working. Choosing rest has really made me stronger. It's made me more present and allowed me to align a little bit better with God's plan. So this is something that I'm really going to prioritize as I go into year 31 because it has helped me so much this year. And for years, I really thought that being nice meant that I had to constantly be available. I was saying yes to everything. It was always, oh, don't worry about it, girl, I got it. And it would lead me to being burnt out. So this, in addition to rest, will really set you up to be the most beautiful person that you can be, because it allows you to lead with integrity. You're being honest with yourself, you're being honest with those around you. And I really learned that every yes that I give to others has to come from a place of honesty, not guilt. So saying no, it doesn't make me difficult. It really protects my peace, it protects my purpose, and it protects my energy. And those three things are so valuable to me in this season. Let me tell y'all, I do a lot of things, but I'm not Superwoman, okay? I am not called to save everybody. You cannot save everyone. And I really had to release the pressure of being the one that holds it all together. I'm not everybody's answer. I'm not everybody's fixer. I'm not everybody's emotional dumping ground. And that doesn't make me any less loving. But God didn't design me to carry the weight of everyone's healing. I can still show up with compassion without self-abandonment. Ooh, so number 5 is my absolute favorite because I've really been enjoying spending quality time with myself. So number 5 is that solo dates are my new love language. And this year I've really taken time to really fall in love with myself. I love taking myself out. I love enjoying my own company, whether this is grabbing dinner or, taking a quiet walk in the park, or really just sitting in silence with a journal and a mocktail. It's really reminded me that I don't have to wait to be loved well. I can really love myself well in this season, and I can love myself now. Solo dates have really become sacred for my time with God, and it's a space where I feel really grounded, joyful, and full. So my favorite restaurant of all time, it's really crazy, I love Redstone. So those buffalo shrimp have me in a chokehold. So I'll typically get my buffalo shrimp and just have a good time. Finding things that you enjoy and that you love, it's key. So I would recommend that you make a list of all the things that you like to do by yourself, all of the restaurants that you love, all of the places that you like to visit, because between me going to dinner by myself and even doing solo travel, it has really brought me so much joy. So that's my recommendation to y'all. Definitely go out by yourself and enjoy your own company. When I tell you, between my family and my closest girlfriends, they've been holding me down, being in school and, navigating through work and trying to figure out what that looks like. It gets very hard. And in this season, I've really had to lean on my village and my tribe more than I think I ever have in my life. So having good people in your life is truly everything. I am beyond thankful for my family, my girlfriends, and the women in my life that really pray with me, pray for me, pull me up, hold me accountable, and really remind me of who I am. Because it's easier said than done, but sometimes we really forget who we are when we're going through it. And I'm grateful to have people in my life where they can remind me, girl, you are here because God instructed you to be here and you are doing it. And I'm so proud of you. Sometimes you just need that little bit of encouragement. And they've been my mirror when I really forget how strong I actually am. And I've learned that I don't need a lot of people. I just need the right ones. And I'm grateful that I have found my village. You can tell that grateful is my word today. But let me tell you, my family and my friends, they are amazing. So safe community is really a blessing. And it's something that I don't take for granted. So, of course, y'all about to be all up in my business. Like I told you, I'm going to be all up in yours too. But I've been single for about 4 years now. And when I tell you, it has been the most beautiful 4 years I could have ever imagined, because it's really given me time to learn about myself, what I like, what I don't like, who do I want to become, what are some things that I have to work on. And therapy has really helped me through that. Yes, I want love. Yes, I want to be married. I want to have the babies, all of that. But I've learned not to treat singleness like a waiting room. I'm not on pause, I'm living. I'm really walking in my purpose. And I've been traveling, I've been seeing the world. And there are so many things that we take for granted in our single season. So if you are single and you're waiting for your Boaz, know that he's coming, but really embrace this season of singleness. This is a season of purpose. It's a season of joy. It's a season of growth and really memories that I wouldn't trade for anything. I've really learned to be hopeful about what is coming. So I hope that you can do the same. I know a lot of people don't believe in therapy, especially as Black folk. But let me tell you, therapy has been a game changer for me. And my therapist is absolutely amazing. I joke with her all the time, like, you are really one of my girlfriends. Like, if we were out, I would just be like, oh yes, this is my friend, dot, dot, dot. But nonetheless, that is the type of relationship that I need. And I said that, my closest girlfriends hold me accountable and they pray with me. For me, it was so important to have a Christian therapist. And listen, praying is powerful, but so is processing. Therapy has helped me unpack so many things I didn't even know that I was carrying. And Jesus healed me in places therapy helped me name. So I think that they can definitely coexist because there's no shame in needing both, because God works through spiritual guidance and skilled professionals. So for me, healing takes faith and tools. So shout out to my therapist, girl. You are doing your thing, and I'm just so grateful to have you in my life because you see me through some things, girl. But I'm so happy how far we've come and where we're at now. Praying is powerful, but so is processing. So this one is for my girlies who have had a little bit of, just struggles with body image, because I've often looked at my body and I thought, oh, well, I would love to have this a little bit more toned and do this and do that. And I've learned that my body is a home. It's not a project. I've really spent years criticizing who I saw in the mirror, and I was picking myself apart like I was unfinished. And I'm really learning now to view my body as a home, so something to nurture, something to honor, and really live in with love. And it really carries me through this calling because I'm looking in the mirror every day and I'm just like, oh, I love the person that you are becoming. It really helps to get me through. My body deserves grace, not punishment. I used to put myself through these crazy workouts, y'all. I would work out first thing in the morning. I would work out during lunch. I would work out, after I got off of work, and I was eating bird food and my body wasn't being nourished. And it wasn't until I actually started to nourish my soul and nourish my body and get into my word that I realized that I don't have to do all of this. Yes, I have to be healthy. Yes, I do have to move, but you don't have to torture yourself through it all. I always say you only get one body, so you have to take care of it. So what you're putting into it, how you're moving. And I really stopped working out just to shrink. Yes, I want to look healthy. Yes, I want to feel good. But now I move to celebrate my body. And whether that is me doing Pilates, me going on, my morning prayer walks, or just stretching, I feel closest to God when I move freely. Every step forward matters, whether it's a little itty bitty step, whether it's messy, whether it's uncertain. I don't have to leap to be proud of myself. And that is so important in itself. Sometimes progress looks like showing up when you don't feel like it, or making a small choice that aligns with who I'm becoming. Slow growth is still growth. So make sure that you are looking at every win, every step forward, whether it's small or it's big, and know that you are moving one step in the right direction. I'm realizing that I don't owe explanations for protecting my peace. No isn't rude, it's honest. And every time I say no to something that's misaligned, I'm saying yes to what God actually has for me. This is just so beautiful because I don't have to have it all together to be used by God. And it's actually my imperfections that keep me humble, that keep me dependent on Him and fully surrendered, because He doesn't need perfect vessels. He just needs willing ones. And my story, even the messy parts, are still useful in His hands. There is no finish line to growth. I used to think that I had to arrive somewhere by now. Where I was going, I have no idea. But becoming is such a lifelong journey, and I'm learning that each and every day to enjoy the unfolding. The stretch, the shift, the softening, it's all a part of it. And I'm not behind because I'm being built by God. This one was really a hard pill to swallow for me because some friendships actually fade when you start to evolve. And I've made peace with that. The ones who are meant to stay will adjust with you. They will love you through every version of you and really challenge you to keep growing. And I've learned to honor what was while still protecting what's becoming. My circle got a little bit smaller and so much stronger. So I am beyond grateful for my girlfriends because they have seen me through some crazy storms, but have stuck with me on this journey of becoming. No more self-bullying over here. I am very intentional about how I speak to myself and how I speak about myself. So there are no more harsh words in my head. I'm really learning to treat myself with that same grace that I freely give to others. I'm learning that I'm not a machine. I am a human that is becoming the best version of what God has for her. And softness doesn't make me weak, it makes me whole. Some of the most painful seasons for me were the most sacred. And God met me there in the grief, in the confusion, in the stretching. And I've learned that difficulty doesn't mean that God isn't there. It doesn't mean that He's not present. I'm really stronger than I think, and He's more faithful than I could ever imagine. I love to travel. So, number 18 is stop waiting, sis. Take the trip and wear the outfit. I used to wait for the perfect moment to celebrate myself. Not anymore. I am getting on the plane, I'm taking the drive, I'm buying the outfit, I'm putting on a little bit of makeup, and I'm taking myself out, and we're gonna have a good time. Life is entirely too short to postpone. Take the pictures, wear the dress, book the flight. The moment is the occasion, and you aren't gonna regret it. Just do it. I'm learning that growth really requires humility. And I never want to be the smartest person in the room. I really just want to stay curious and open and willing to change when I'm wrong. So being teachable has really opened doors that pride would have closed. And I am a forever learner, so I'm always looking to learn something new. And I think that that is the beauty of all of it. In order to stay teachable, you need to be open and willing. I would have never started becoming Simone had God never said, okay, this is what I want you to do right now. Because I barely post on social media. I did not know how to use this camera. And I love for things to be perfect. So I knew that starting this journey, it was me being vulnerable. It was me sharing so much of myself that I constantly keep bottled in. And for so long, I thought that I had to be strong. But what I've learned is that being honest about the fear, the pain, the questions, is where the real strength lies. And my vulnerability has created deeper connections, softer relationships, and healing that I didn't know that I needed. And there's so much power in being real. So I hope that you all can really take something from this becoming journey, because it's really me pouring out so much of my heart and so much love to you all who are also on this journey. All right, so number 21, baby, I guard my peace. Guard your peace like it's gold, because peace is not up for negotiation. I've learned how to pay really close attention to how I feel after conversations, after commitments, or after connecting with someone. If it costs me my peace, it's too expensive. Protecting my peace to me means that I can hear from God clearly, I can show up fully, I can move in purpose without constant noise. And I'm realizing that peace is a boundary, it's a blessing, and it's a birthright. So if something does not bring you peace, it's time for you to walk away and remove yourself from the situation. I am so done dimming my light. For a long time, I held back, just trying to be enough so that no one would feel uncomfortable. But I learned that my light is not too much. I was created to shine and not to shrink. I'm learning to walk boldly in who I am, and that doesn't take anything from anyone else. It gives others permission to do the same. Some seasons have left me absolutely speechless, y'all, with no words to pray. Just God help, Lord help me. And He did. He showed up in ways that I didn't expect, using people, peace, provision that I could never have planned. And I've learned that the shortest prayers often bring the deepest breakthroughs. And I really realized that I needed Him the most in this last semester, y'all. Nursing school is very, very difficult. I was tired, I was crying, I was stressed, and I really had to surrender to God. And all I had was help me, Lord. And he showed up in ways that I could have never imagined. Expect God to blow your mind. I've really stopped boxing God in. He is not limited by what I see or what I think is possible. And I've seen him do things that I didn't even know how to pray for. Now I live in holy expectation, really believing that surprises, blessings, and answered prayers are still ahead. And I don't just hope anymore. I expect. I expect God to move things in my life. I expect God to show up and show out each and every time. And I expect God to blow my mind. For me, this is so important because there are so many things that I have today that I once cried out to God for. And it's so easy to rush past them or, always reach for the next thing. And I've been learning to sit and be grateful for what God has done for me right now. I've learned to slow down and really savor what's right in front of me. And presence is the secret to joy. Don't miss your miracle because you're too busy chasing the next milestone. So really sit with God and be grateful for what he has done in your life thus far. Comparison really used to make me question my own progress. And I've realized that I'm not running their race, I'm running mine. God is not in a hurry, and neither am I. I really trust that exactly where I need to be is where I will be, and growing at the pace that is perfectly for me. My timeline isn't broken, it's blessed. So wherever God leads me, that's where I will go in his time. I'm really stepping into this next chapter with so much joy, so much gratitude, and so much expectation for what God is going to do in my life, and I cannot wait for what's ahead. Laughter has really been my saving grace, and even on the hardest days, when I could find a reason to laugh, I knew that I was going to be okay. Because joy is holy and it reminds me that I'm still here, I'm still soft, and I'm still hopeful. So sometimes you just need to laugh so hard that your stomach starts to hurt because that's the start of healing. Letting go used to feel like failure, but now I know that surrender is where the power is. When I stopped gripping onto my plans so tightly, it really gave God room to move in my life. And I found that freedom is really releasing control and trusting that God already has it worked out. So my strength now isn't striving, it's in surrender. Becoming never ends, and I really love this for me. I used to want to arrive, to be this version of myself that had it all figured out, but now I'm really in love with this process. I'm always evolving, I'm always learning, I'm always leaning deeper into who God has called me to be. And the becoming is the gift, and I'm committed to growing for the rest of my life with God by my side. In 31, I'm really looking for deeper clarity around next steps in my calling, clarity around relationships, clarity around where I want to plant, where to release, and where to pour my energy. And I'm really looking forward to alignment where my heart, my purpose, and God's will are all in sync. I'm praying to, walk through the right doors and not just the available ones. I want my peace to be confirmation and not pressure. I'm really praying for deeper intimacy with God, and not just in the quiet moments, but in the chaos, the routine, the everyday. And I want to hear him more clearly and trust him more quickly. I think sometimes I am slow to trust God. I'm like, okay, I got it. So really surrendering fully. And more than anything, I'm really praying to remain open to joy, open to love, open to surprise, open to becoming, even when things feel uncertain. And I don't need to know everything that's coming, but I really want to be ready when it shows up, because I know that God is going to show up and show out. And as I think about everything that I'm praying for and expecting in this next year, clarity, alignment, joy, peace, I really wanted to do something a little bit differently this time around. And lately I've been in the habit of writing myself letters. So little letters that I can open on my birthday or, after I reach a big milestone. And it's a way to really speak life to my future self and honor the season that I'm in right now. So before I step into 31, I took a moment to write a letter to the woman I'll be this time next year. And I can't even believe that I'm saying that, but I wanted to read it here with you all. Dear my favorite girl, I see you, I honor how far you've come, and I really truly love the woman that you are becoming. You've waited with patience, prayed with hope, surrendered with trembling hands, and trusted God even when the way felt unclear. You've done the work internally, spiritually, emotionally, quietly, and consistently. You've grown in ways that past versions of you couldn't have even imagined. And look at you now. It's your time, my love. Your time to walk boldly into the next chapter, not because you have all the answers, but because you finally realize that you don't need them. You are exactly where God intended you to be. The detours were divine. The delays were protection. The pauses were part of the preparation. Nothing was wasted. You don't have to hustle for what's already yours. You don't have to prove your worth to anyone, including yourself. Rest in his promises. Breathe deeply. Let go of the timelines and trust that you're right on divine schedule. I want you to stay soft, stay surrendered, stay open, because there is favor on your name, girl. Your tribe will grow. Your voice will rise. Your boundaries will strengthen. Your faith will deepen. And your joy will remain. You are becoming the woman God dreams about long before you even saw her in yourself. Remember your calling. Remember the tears you've sown in secret and the prayers you've whispered through tired lips. You were made for this. Midwifery, nurturing, advocacy, ministry. You were born to guide, to stand in the gap, to carry hope, to reflect the love of Christ in every space that you enter. You were called for such a time as this. Not by accident, not by coincidence, but by design. Yes, there will be hard days. Days where you question your strength, your timing, your place. But when that happens, lean back into God, who has never let you fall. You've seen him move mountains before. He is not about to stop now. Keep your heart soft. Keep your faith loud. Keep your eyes fixed on the one who called you. You are walking in the becoming every single day. You are already enough, already worthy, already loved, and still becoming. The best is still ahead. So walk boldly, walk gracefully, and walk anointed. Be open to the unfolding. Stay obedient to the call. And above all else, never stop becoming. With all the love, grace, and softness you deserve, you. Ooh, so I'm going to tuck this letter away and I'm going to open it when we get to my 32nd birthday next year. It's really so special to speak life over yourself and then actually watch how God moves. And since we're talking about reflection and remembering what God has done, I want to share something else that I've started doing again this year that you may want to try too. It's simple, but it's so powerful, and it's really about staying grateful along the way. So about 10 years ago, my mom gave me the best advice. She told me to take a mason jar and keep it somewhere that I see every single day. Then every time that something good happens, make sure that you write it down on a post-it note and put it inside the jar. Now this can be something really big, it can be something super small, it can be an answered prayer, or just something good that happened to you that day. Make sure that you write the date and exactly what happened on this post-it. And this isn't something that we open on birthdays, it's something that we open at the end of every year. So on December 31st, 2025, we'll be opening our jars and really seeing how God blessed us throughout this year. It's really time for us to remain grateful and see how God moves. So I want you to grab a mason jar. I want you to grab some post-it notes and just start writing down how good God has been to you and all the things that he's blessed you with, including all the smiles. All right, so I want to leave you with this, sis. What has this past year taught you? Not just what happened, but what have you learned? What have you learned about God, yourself, about who you're becoming? I really want you to take a moment to think about that and journal it, pray over it, speak life into it, because there is so much power in pausing and honoring your growth. And then I want you to ask yourself this: who am I becoming in this next season? What do I need to release? What do I need to receive? Because you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't. You just need to stay open, willing, and grounded in God's love for you. So if any part of this video spoke to you today, I'd love to hear from you in the comments and let me know what lessons spoke to you. I want to thank y'all so much for spending some time with me today. I am so glad that we were able to reflect, we were able to laugh a little bit, and really lean into becoming together. Now, the next time y'all see me, I'm going to be 31, and I am just so grateful for all that God has done. I hope that you learned a little bit from the lessons that I've learned in 30. And if this episode blessed you, make sure that you like, make sure that you comment, and make sure that you subscribe so that we can continue growing together, so that we can continue becoming together, and so that we can be each other's support throughout this entire journey. And as always, keep becoming, sis, because you know we are just getting started.